Chapter 6. Reinforcement. Reinforcement is the final element of the ADKAR model. Reinforcement includes any action or event that strengthens and reinforces the change with an individual or an organization. Examples include private or public recognition, rewards, group celebrations, or even something as simple as a personal acknowledgement of progress. Reinforcement doesn't always require major events. In a study of customer service employees, the number one recognition desired by customer service agents was a personal thank you and an expression of appreciation by their supervisor. This gesture is meaningful because of the unique nature of the employee-supervisor relationship. It tells employees that they matter and that their contributions are being noticed and valued. Several factors contribute to the effectiveness of reinforcements, including the degree to which the reinforcement is meaningful to the person impacted by the change, the association of the reinforcement with actual demonstrated progress or accomplishment, the absence of negative consequences, and accountability systems to reinforce the change. Factor 1. Meaningful reinforcements. In general, change is reinforced when recognition and rewards are meaningful to an individual. Meaningful from an individual perspective would include several attributes of the recognition. First, the recognition or reward applies to the person being recognized. Second, the person providing the recognition or reward is someone the individual respects. And finally, the reward is relevant or valuable to the person being recognized. Factor 2. Association of reinforcement with accomplishment. Most of the time, individuals already know when they've succeeded at a change. Recognition simply lets them know that others still care that the change is important. On the other hand, you've probably experienced a friend or coworker who struggled to make a change happen, only to find out that no one noticed. In this case, the absence of reinforcement becomes a barrier to sustaining the change. In the workplace, many project teams ignore the potential of celebrating small successes. When changes are new, and when the difficulties of changing are the greatest, opportunities present themselves for celebration. These moments can be turning points for the change. Identifying and acting on these opportunities is a critical part of reinforcing the change. The converse is also true. If no accomplishment has been made, any attempt at rewards or recognition can backfire. Individuals want to be acknowledged for meaningful contributions and progress. Using recognitions or rewards in the absence of demonstrated achievement reduces the value of the recognition now and in the future. Factor 3. Absence of negative consequences. When a person experiences a negative consequence for exhibiting the desired behavior, the change process is impeded. Peer pressure is a good example. In the work setting, this can occur if some employees insist on doing things the old way and apply social pressure to their coworkers to do the same. In high schools, we observe many types of peer pressure, some good and some bad. If peer pressure is opposing the change, the resulting negative consequence becomes a barrier to the change. Factor 4. Accountability systems. Accountability for continued performance is one of the strongest forms of reinforcement. For example, individuals who have initiated a fitness program to address health issues are much more likely to sustain the change if they have some type of accountability mechanism. For some individuals, this is a personal trainer who monitors and measures their progress. For other individuals, this could be a friend or workout partner. For more serious health issues, the accountability mechanism may be frequent checkups with a healthcare provider. In the workplace, accountability systems are often tied to job performance and measurements. Once an accountability and performance measurement system is in place, the results of the change become visible on an ongoing basis. When recognition or rewards accompany the achievement of goals or objectives, the probability that the change will be sustained increases. The greatest risk associated with a lack of reinforcement is a person or group that reverts to old behaviors. Without reinforcement, a person or group may perceive that the effort expended during the transition was not valued. They may seek out ways to avoid the change and their desire to change will diminish. When NASA returned the Space Shuttle Discovery safely to Earth following the tragedy of the Shuttle Columbia, NASA as a whole was recognized for the changes they made to the space program. These changes included efforts to address the culture and values that may have contributed to flawed decision-making, as well as a redesign of major components of the entire system. Yet, even with this recognition for their success, the individual employees at NASA can sustain the change only if they are recognized and their contribution is acknowledged and appreciated. In the absence of continual reinforcement, it's possible that old habits and norms will creep back into the work environment. If this occurs, then the organization builds a negative history related to change. When the next change comes along, individuals remember how previous changes were managed and how they were treated during the process. The hotel towel reuse case study is another example where reinforcement plays a critical role for hotel guests. If hotel guests support the change and hang their towels back on the rack, but the hotel staff replaces the towels with new ones anyway, then the change is not reinforced. In fact, hotel guests may see this as a reason not to participate in this program going forward. Summary: reinforcement is the final element of the ADKAR model and serves three purposes. First, reinforcement sustains the change and prevents individuals from slipping back into old behaviors or old ways of doing work. Second, reinforcement builds momentum during the transition. Finally, reinforcement creates a history that individuals remember when the next change occurs. If change is reinforced and celebrated, then the readiness and capacity for change increases. Reinforcements are successful when 1. They are meaningful to the person recognized. 2. They are associated with actual accomplishments. 3. There is an absence of negative consequences for desired behavior. And 4. Accountability mechanisms are in place.